We decided to make this series of programs to talk about issues, problems, solutions, and find way of spiritual life. We have included several titles that we are going to talk about. I want to mention some of those. Everyday life, we're gonna discuss about life itself, looking at it from different perspectives and discussing things that sometimes seem very little, sometimes rise up and become very dangerous for us, for modern society, for young generation, and try to pull out some solutions that will help everybody who will like to see the light of Christ. Next one is our society. After talking about the problems and issues in everyday life, we're gonna talk about society. Our society, living in a third millennium, is much more different from the other ages. Scientists say that the progress that society has now within 1 year was taking place within 100 years ago. Progress of modern life puts us in a confusion sometimes because we keep running after the life, and sometimes life itself just pulls us, leaving us behind. And for this reason, we need to stop a minute and look at the society to see what are the good things, what are the things that we can account as a progress, what are the things that we have to deal with, what are the things that we have to struggle against, fight against. A great philosopher says, know yourself, you will know the life, the world. Because every human being is a microcosm that includes almost everything that we can find in life today. And every human being has all the basics that everybody does. So knowing our own selves will be very helpful to understand the life, the everyday life, and the society is made from the human beings, from us. We are particles of that society. So our programs find out who we are, what part of society we are, what are our inputs into the society, what are the things that we expect from society, what are the things that we can change in society. And then after this, if we know ourselves more or less, we can go to the next step and concentrate specifically on problems of society and talk about issues that are appearing in front of us as obstacles that are impossible to overcome. Sometimes really there are some kind of issues and problems that seem impossible. Next program we're gonna talk about health issues, health problems, health spiritual, health physical, moral, because all these things are connected to each other and one doesn't exist without the others. And if you pull one, the others follow. Sometimes we think that everything we need is the physical health and we can do the rest. But in the end we realize that not everything is connected. Not everything depends on our physical health or strength, because society and life demands a moral values, moral issues putting in front of us. Yes, we go to the church, yes, we read the Bible, but is it enough to be spiritually healthy? What does it mean, spirituality? Do we have the answer to these questions? And the next issue we are going to discuss is the purpose of life. It seems that we are not big enough, a scholar or a theologian or philosopher, to talk about those things, but it's not true. Because everybody is a part of life, everybody has a particle of life inside of him or herself, and everybody can have an input into the discussion of the meaning of life, because for everybody the life and the meaning of it are different. But there should be one goal that is basic and common for entire humanity. Everybody can agree or disagree with nuances or details of these explanations, but there should be a basic that is common for all of us. And then we're gonna go to our vision. Yes, we know the problems. Yes, we know our abilities, our health. Yes, we know that there is a common reason and a goal and a purpose of life. Yes, we know all the difficulties. Yes, we know all the obstacles. But what is our vision? What is our hope? Because hope is one of the most important things in life that keeps us going even in the worst situations. So all of us have a vision about the future, about next minute, vision about healthier life, moral society. Next program, which will follow to the program of our vision, will be the education. Education as a central argument for our vision in spiritual life, in scientific life, in professional life. Knowledge is the one of most important parts. It's not self-centered. It's not the only thing that we need for our progress towards our vision, but it's one of the most important things. How can we go somewhere if we don't know the way, if we don't have the directions, if we don't have a leader, a leading light, if we don't know the hands that carry us. I know that some people will be disturbed hearing about tradition, because when we say tradition, sometimes we understand old-fashioned life, or the understanding of life that comes from old societies that are not practical, that are not real. But the other side of the tradition is that that's an experience from past generations. Generations that work through the same or similar problems and issues of life and came to this point and handed us already book. Think about a Bible. It's a full tradition. It's a full experience of past. Think about the science. We drive modern car, but it has a tradition behind. It's very easy now to create a fastest car or an airplane, but we have to think about the stages and basic rules that are the same now, and they have been the same 200, 300 years ago. It's the same movements, it's the same ways of behavior. Forms are different, forms are changed, but the basics and rules are the same. So we are going to look at the tradition from a perspective that will introduce the basics of life and all the treasure that our past generations inherited to us to make our struggle easier. And while we talk about the tradition, we will be going to the history of humanity, history of science, history of religion, history of morality, what kind of steps human life has had from the very beginning that we know about, and what are the mistakes that our ancestors and past generations have made that we don't need to repeat.